The wild yak is one of the toughest cattle species on Earth. Imagine standing at 4,000 to 5,000 meters above sea level. The air is so thin, it feels like someone sucked half of it away. Freezing wind cuts like a knife, and temperatures drop below zero. Most animals would perish here in just a few days, but the wild yak thrives as if it's living in its own backyard. It wears an incredibly thick fur overcoat, long shaggy hair that hangs almost to the ground, blocking icy winds and trapping warmth. The outer long-guard hairs act like a heavy cloak, while the dense undercoat works like premium thermal underwear. Double-layered protection at its finest. Its body is compact and powerful, with oversized lungs and blood that carries oxygen far more efficiently than ordinary cattle. Even in the thinnest air, it breathes steadily and comfortably. Wild yaks spend their days grazing on tough, short mountain grasses and moss. Food is scarce, so they constantly wander across rocky slopes and vast open plateaus. Don't let their slow.com walk fool you. An adult male can weigh nearly 1,000 kilograms. When provoked, it lowers its head and charges with surprising speed and raw power that will make you question your life choices. Its long, curved horns are like natural In this extreme environment, predators are rare. Only wolves occasionally dare to try their luck, but even a wolf pack must think twice. Most of the time, the wild yak lives a quiet but incredibly tough life, silently grazing across the frozen landscape like a silent mountain guardian. Next, let's shift the scene to the vast African savannah. The African buffalo is one of the most respected animals on the savannah. It may not be the fastest or the flashiest, but it survives with something even more powerful: unity. African buffalo live in large herds that can sometimes number in the hundreds. The entire group stays constantly alert, ears twitching, heads lifting, eyes scanning. Because in Africa, danger can burst out of the grass at any moment. They have thick, heavy bodies and powerful necks built for impact. Their horns curve outward and then hook back in, forming that classic African buffalo shape. In older males, the base of the horns develops a solid, bony shield called a boss nature's built-in helmet. Lions are among the few predators bold enough to hunt them, but even lions play it smart. They usually try to isolate a weak, old, or young animal. Facing the whole group head-on is simply too dangerous. When one buffalo is attacked, the others often turn back instead of running away. There are even documented cases of herds chasing lions off and rescuing trapped members. This level of coordination is rare among herbivores. Buffalo also depend heavily on water. They drink every day and love to wallow in rivers or muddy pools to cool down. Despite their bulky build, they can charge with surprising speed and power when needed. Like an out-of-control heavy truck, calm and steady when left alone, but fiercely bold when threatened. The African buffalo's survival philosophy is simple. I may not be the fastest, but I will never stand alone. That's part 1, the high-altitude survivor and the savannah's united front. Which one impresses you more so far? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If you're enjoying this series, hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss part 2, where we head into the forests and plains. Our third giant is the Gaur, also known as the Indian bison, the largest wild cattle species living in forests today. If you ever encounter one in the wild, you don't just think, wow, it's big. You feel its massive presence. The Gaur has tall shoulders, a prominent ridge along its back, and a deep, powerful chest. Adult males easily weigh over 1,000 kilograms. Its dark brown body contrasts sharply with bright white lower legs, making it look like it's wearing stylish natural boots. Its thick, strong horns curve upward in a smooth arc, pale at the base and darkening toward the sharp tips. Despite its intimidating size, Gaurs are generally calm animals. They move in small herds, grazing slowly through forests and open grasslands. They are most active during the cool early mornings and late evenings. They don't need to roar or fight to show dominance. Their sheer size does the talking. Still, they're far from careless. Their excellent sense of smell and hearing help them detect danger early, and when needed, the herd quickly clusters together. In the quiet forest, the Gaur is the ultimate quiet, but don't mess with me, giant. Now, let's head to North America to meet the American bison. At first glance, it looks like a moving wall of pure muscle. Its massive head, thick shoulders, and that famous humper in T just for show. The hump is packed with powerful muscles that let it swing its head like a battering ram. Adult males can weigh over 900 kilograms, yet they can reach speeds of up to 55 kilometers per hour. That's much faster than most people expect. Bison spend most of their lives grazing across the wide grasslands, moving slowly as a herd in search of fresh grass and water. But life on the plains is never completely safe. Wolf packs frequently test the herd, looking for weak or young targets. This is when the bison's true strength shines. Instead of panicking and scattering, the herd quickly forms a protective circle, keeping the calves safe in the center. Any predator that tries to break through must face dozens of sharp horns and massive bodies. Most wolves quickly decide it's not worth the risk. Winter brings the ultimate challenge. Temperatures plunged far below freezing, and deep snow buries the grass. But bison have a clever trick. They use their heavy heads like natural snow plows, sweeping the snow aside to reach the frozen grass underneath. It's a simple but brilliant adaptation that allows them to survive winters that would defeat most other animals. Calm most of the time, yet incredibly tough when it matters. Next is the wild water buffalo, one of the largest and most powerful cattle species on the planet. At first sight, it feels less like an animal and more like a living tank. It has a wide body, thick skin, and massive horns that stretch out like curved blades. Some males weigh over 1,200 kilograms, and their horns can span nearly 2 meters. What truly defines them is their deep connection to water. Wild water buffalo live in wetlands, flood, and river valleys across South and Southeast Asia. Water isn't just for drinking, it's a vital survival tool. On hot days, they sink into mud or shallow water to cool off, protect themselves from insects, and escape the scorching sun. Their wide hooves are perfectly built for walking through soft, muddy ground without sinking. They live in herds, usually led by experienced older females. The group grazes slowly on grasses and aquatic plants. However, large males often live alone and can be highly territorial. Tigers are among the few predators that dare to challenge them. Calm in the water and heavy on land, the wild water buffalo survives through sheer power, patience, and an unshakable willingness to stand its ground. Finally, we have the smallest wild cattle in the world. Don't let its small size fool you. This animal is a master of survival in its own unique way. Anoas live in the dense rainforests of Indonesian islands, like These forests are thick, dark, and full of obstacles. Unlike other wild cattle, anoas prefer to stay alone or in pairs, making them much harder to spot in the wild. Staying unseen is often the best defense. Their bodies are compact and low to the ground, with short, straight horns, strong legs, and a build perfectly suited for navigating tight forest paths. They feed on leaves, fruits, ferns, and young plants, always moving quietly and staying alert. Interestingly, anoas are also excellent swimmers. Rivers and muddy areas are no obstacle. They cross them with ease. Their dark coats help them blend perfectly into the forest shadows. In such a crowded and complex environment, being invisible is far more important than being strong. Anoas survive not by fighting or dominating, but by staying silent and moving carefully. Small in size yet perfectly adapted to its world. A quiet survivor hidden deep in the rainforest, from the snow-covered peaks of the Tibetan Plateau to the endless African savannah, from the dense Asian forests to the wide North American plains, and all the way to the humid rainforests of Indonesia. These members of the wild cattle family prove one clear truth in very different ways. Survival on this planet never relies on just one strategy. Some rely on thick fur and powerful lungs, some on unity and courage, some on sheer size and strength, and others on stealth and caution. Every one of these wild cattle has mastered the art of tough survival in its own remarkable way. That's the end of our two-part journey through the toughest wild cattle on Earth. Which one is your favorite? Or which do you think is the most hard? Let me know in the comments. I read every single one. If you enjoyed this series, make sure you resubscribed and hit the like button. The next video is already in the works, and you won't want to miss it. See you in the next one!